I did something so dumb, something everybody says not to do.
Maximalist mini bars with Mary and Captain and you. Get on the bus!
I'm probably supposed to wait till the end of the video to reveal the dumb thing I did, because that's how you build suspense, but not much of a video if I don't show you this. This is my new fridge. It's not 12 volts, it's not a chest style fridge, it's not specifically made for mobile environment, it's not what you're supposed to put in a SKOOLIE. Learn from my mistakes. That's why I make them. Here are the issues that people bring up about using mini fridges, this kind of fridge, in a bus. Number one, energy consumption. This being AC and not DC means I'm losing some power because I have to use an inverter. On top of that, appliances that are made to be used on the power grid are going to be less concerned with power consumption than ones that are made to run on battery. Plus, it's not a top opening chest style fridge, and those allegedly are more efficient, although it seems to me you have to keep it open more and you have to take stuff out of it more because everything's just kind of flopped in there on top of each other, but I don't know. They say it's more efficient. Okay. I guess I have to believe that. Number two, can it handle the bangity bangity boom? Fridges designed for mobile use are sturdier and they can handle tipping and all that much better than a fridge like this that's designed to be stationary. I don't know if this thing's gonna hold up. So why am I choosing it? Number one, I need ice. Okay, this may be a luxury problem to you, but we all get to choose what our priorities are, and ice is a priority. For me, I love ice. If I don't have ice, I'm sad. But ice is really expensive. My original solution was I had two of these. One set to freezer, one set to fridge, plus an ice maker, which I ran on only days with plenty of bright sun. But there were problems with that. You can't store the ice in the ice maker at all because it doesn't stay cold. So the second fridge here, the one that I set as a freezer, basically became an ice chest, and I do have other things I would like to freeze, but there wasn't any room for them. I found myself spending way too much time on ice management. And then there's number three. I hate chest fridges. I hate how the food at the bottom is colder than the food on the top. I hate how everything is on top of everything, and if something melts, everything gets nasty. I hate how I can't really see what I have in there. I hate how little space you get for the giant footprint you have to give them on the counter. I really don't like them. Number four, this one is cute. Maybe I'm shallow, but that matters to me. In my search, Amazon just showed me this little baby. I hemmed and hawed, I researched, I put it in the cart, I took it out, I did some more research, I did a little math, I put it in, I took it out again, but I couldn't stop thinking about what a better solution for me this might be. I decided to go for it. One thing I have found time and time again in my life is that people don't like change. And okay, two things I've found. People don't like change and their parents. Someone says, that will never work. And then everybody says, that will never work. And pretty soon their parents. That's all you hear. That will never work. And even though nobody's actually tried it, or even worse, sometimes lots of people have tried it and it has worked. It works just fine, but everybody's still saying that will never work. I'm not saying the argument against mini fridges in moving vehicles doesn't make sense. It does make sense. One of the things I take pride in is that I don't believe everything I hear, and I'm willing to take a risk. And here's why I took this one. Number one, space. Okay, I'm giving up an 18 by 18 square footprint basically, and I'm getting 3.2 cubic feet. By comparison, I bought a dual zone chest fridge last week and I returned it because it was huge. It took up a 20 by 22 footprint. It was much shorter than this, but I don't have any problem with vertical real estate. It was 40 quarts, which is equivalent to 1.33 cubic feet. These things are 15 liters, which is equivalent to 1.05 cubic feet. If I run two, that's 2.1 cubic feet. Hands down, this wins for size. Number two, it makes ice and then holds the ice all by itself. I don't need an ice maker. I don't need a separate chest to store my ice. I just freeze some water and I've got ice. Number three, I can see what's in it. Things cool and freeze evenly and all that. Now, when I'm driving, I'm gonna have to make sure that the things inside are secure and that the doors are secure, and that's harder than it would be with a chest fridge. But it's not that hard, it's easy enough. And number four, it's so freaking cute. How different is the power consumption on this? According to the Indel Webasto Marine website, each of these uses 155 watts per 24 hours. According to the Energy Star Guide on this uses 153 kilowatt hours per year. Okay, so 153 kilowatt hours divided by 365 days to how many kilowatt hours per day? It's 0.419178808. So let's just round it up to 0.42. And of course, these numbers are not going to be exact for what you would get because it depends how full the fridge is, what's in it. Are you using the freezer part heavily? What's the ambient temperature? There's a lot of variables, but we're just going to go by the published numbers put out by the manufacturers of both of these products, because that's really all we can do right now. So that's 0.42 kilowatt hours per day, which is 420 watt hours per day. And if you divide that by hours, you get 12.5 for the Indel and 17.5 for this. For the AC, we have to add conversion to that. The inverter that's taking it from AC to DC, from 110 volt to 12 volt, is in the Montech 1000, which is what I'm using to power this, and it has a 93% efficiency according to Hobotech. I am nowhere near as technically savvy as he is, and I don't have all that fancy testing equipment that he has, so I'm just gonna take his word for it. So I have to add 7% to the power usage. So that brings us to 450 watts a day, or 18.75 watts per hour. So it's more, sure, but it really comes out in the wash when you go by capacity. And you're not running the ice maker, which I don't even know what the consumption is on that. I don't want to get into my solar setup right now because that's a whole other video and I'm still working some things out, but it's definitely going to mean some adjustment. I'm okay with that. I have some ideas about how to make this thing run a little more efficiently, so we'll see what happens with that. So the last question, and there's no way to really answer this until I've had a chance to use it for a while and go to different places and, you know, put it through some paces, is can it handle the bangity bangity boom? Can this thing handle the movement of a bus? I don't know. I'm gonna have to find out. Do you have a mini fridge in your vehicle, or have you thought about getting one? Why don't you let me know in the comments? Watch this. A great opportunity to learn from my mistakes. And I'll see you next time.